To you and welcome to Perspectives, a current affairs discussion program on iGate Radio 95.5 Star FM, Makurdi, Benue State. This morning on the program, we shall focus on the state of abattoirs in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. Everyone, every household have a need for meat consumption, and the process where this meat begins is in the abattoir. How healthy are the animals we are consuming? What is the state of the abattoirs, their sanitary condition? And what are the stakeholders in this area doing to ensure that public health is safeguarded? In terms of the butchers, the commitment of the government, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, the Directorate of Veterinary Services and Livestock Services, what are they doing? The Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, what are they doing to ensure that public health is safeguarded so that healthy animals are slaughtered for human consumption? These are the issues we shall beam our spotlight on the program this morning. We have stakeholders in this area who have joined us in the studio to share insights with us. First, I'd like to welcome the Director, Veterinary and Livestock Services in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Benue State. Dr. Edward Amali is our guest on Perspectives. Welcome to iGate Radio, Dr. Amali.
Thank you so much, and good morning to everyone.
We also have in our studio the Chairman, Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Benue State Chapter, and a lecturer at the Joseph Sawuantaka University, Makurdi, Dr. Andrew Amine. Welcome to Perspectives, Dr. Amine.
Thank you very much, and good morning, listeners.
We are also expecting the Chairman, National Butchers Union, Benue State, Umar Sarki-Naira, who will join us in the course of the program. As soon as he's here with us, we will let you know. My name is Nathaniel Nongu, your regular host on this program, welcoming you to this Friday edition. And as we always do, or if you are joining Perspectives on this edition, we'd like to inform you that the program is audience interactive. You can phone in or send a message to contribute on the subject matter we are focusing on. The program takes the air from now to 11 a.m. and at 10 o'clock, the line for calls will be available for you to phone in, ask questions or seek clarifications or make contributions on the subject matter. The line which is available for calls at 10 o'clock is 081 433-59292, 081-433-59292. The line for text messages and WhatsApp chats is 09126999404, 09126999404. That line for messages and WhatsApp chats will be available soon as we begin the discussion. Let's also inform you that Perspectives is streaming live on all our social media platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Kindly search out iGate Radio and television on these platforms, and you'll be sure to find the live stream there to follow us. You may also listen to us via our website on www.iGateRadioTV.com. We are available on all these platforms to serve you. Let's begin our engagement with a discussant. I'd like to begin with you, Dr. Amali.
Sure.
What is the state of abattoirs in Makurdi per se?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here and talk about this very, very important issue. The issue is so important that what I must say straight away is that the state of the abattoirs in Makurdi, at least in the metropolis, extended to the local governments in the state, is an emergency. I think we would expect an action to be taken concerning these abattoirs, the position they find themselves now, that an action should be taken concerning them. They are not in the best of situations now, especially if you hear this coming from someone like me. I must say that it's not satisfactory at all.
Okay, Dr. Amine, you are also an active player in this area. Listening to the director, what can you say of the involvement of the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association based on what you have seen of the abattoirs?
Yeah, thank you very much, Nathaniel, and thank you for hosting us this morning. As the director rightly said, the state of the abattoirs is nowhere close to what it should be at the moment. As an association, we have tried to reach out to the abattoir workers, identify the abattoirs that they are not even abattoirs in the first place. They are slaughter slabs because they do not have the facilities that qualifies a slaughterhouse to be called an abattoir. So what we have here are just slaughter slab, people managing to slaughter animals in one place, and sell them out to the public. So as an association, we are trying to collaborate both with government and the abattoir workers to have an understanding of the fact that even though these abattoirs may not be the standard they should be, a certain standard has to be observed in them so that we will have wholesome meat to consume. So, as it were, we do not have an abattoir in Benue State. What we have are just slaughter slabs, which do not even have the necessary requirements for meat slaughter at the moment.
Okay, Dr. Amine, you are an expert in this area. Give us an understanding of the facilities that should be available to qualify a place to serve standard purpose as an abattoir.
If you go to a standard abattoir, you are expected to have certain basic facilities. You're supposed to have a lairage where these animals, when they come, they stay for a period of time for them to be examined, ante-mortem examination to ensure that they are fit for consumption. They travel long distances to get to the abattoir. Some of them may be fatigued. Some of them might just be weak. Some of them may actually be sick. So if you have a lairage where you can keep these animals over a period of time to observe them, you'll be able to dictate that. We do not have that. You also need to have different compartments where you slaughter different animals. You slaughter cattle differently. You slaughter sheep and goat differently. You slaughter pig differently, even chicken. Then you also have to have a place where this meat could be stored, like a cold room, where this meat could be stored. At best, the last time we went to the abattoir, we saw a truck that was donated by the federal government through the state ministry for transportation of meat, which is a welcome development. And you also need to have a place where these diseased animals or sick animals will be carefully and properly disposed of, where we call the incinerator. We should have very good water system and light system in the abattoir. We should have a slaughter hall where you have facilities like the rail system where you can hoist these animals up and dismember and have every part that you're supposed to take out. You have to have the flaying point where you remove the skin and all of that. So we do not have any of these facilities. What the butchers are doing are managing the best they can with the little space they have. And most of the abattoirs that we have, the slaughter slabs that we have here, are even being crowded with other activities, which is not supposed to be. So these facilities are basically not there. And but as you know, we have to live, we have to survive. And when you go to the abattoir and engage with the workers, you will know they are not also happy with what they see, but they have to survive as well, and people have to consume it. So those are some of the things that I can say are the requirements of a standard abattoir.
Okay. Let me welcome at this moment the chairman, National Butchers Union, Benue State, Umar Sarki-Naira. Welcome to the studio of Agate Radio, Sarki-Naira.
You are welcome once again.
Okay. before I come to you shortly, Dr. Amali, I am with you now. You have listened to the chairman of MVMA in Benue. He walked us through some of the facilities. The ones that we have currently, do we have these facilities in place?
Thank you. Excuse me. Just as he mentioned, the facilities, in fact, we have a standing house without any facilities at all inside. What we have is the floor of the house, which we refer to as the slaughter floor. So the entirety of it is referred to as a slaughter house, because it's a building. Then the floor, the slaughter floor. Now, all of the basic facilities that he mentioned, including water, are absent from these abattoirs. So, like water, it is sourced, from all areas. Like the butchers, they have to buy water from tankers, those who get water from the waterworks area there. Now, but the facilities that are not there is not it's an inherited problem. I mean, you may not be talking about the present administration concerning the lack of facilities there. They inherited this. All of us know it's only a few months since they came, and normally we have continued to make efforts. We have continued to write memos and all that as in government. But what we have this on the ground now, which I dare to say I saw, is exactly what was inherited by this government. Why we are talking in this manner is that we hope that this administration will come up to something very real about the abattoirs that we have now. It has to be so. The abattoirs have deteriorated to levels that if we're not careful, we'll be headed for some kind of disease outbreak from the abattoirs there. What we say, and has become a song now, is the fact that about 75% of diseases inherited by men comes from animals. And therefore, the abattoirs become a very, very important contact point. And this is the most reason why we must sing the song now, that the abattoirs have come to a point where they must need to be attended to. I am talking from the instance of government and what is happening in the abattoirs. The abattoirs, or the slaughterhouses as it were, the one we have now, activities in it will come as a collaborative function. We collaborate to make things work in the abattoir. It is very easy for anything that happens or goes wrong in the abattoir for it to be ascribed to the Ministry of Agriculture. But this is very wrong. We collaborate, there's the need to collaborate. And this collaboration can be intergovernmental as well. Because I want to begin this way. Ministry of Agriculture is involved in the function in these processes in the abattoir. The Ministry of Environment is involved, and they come through BENSESA. There's the federal government agency we refer to as NASREA. That one too has a role to play, or they come in a role, and then we have the local government as part of us there. So you see, this is not an issue of the Ministry of Agriculture alone, as people see it. Now, the function of the Ministry of Agriculture in the activities of the abattoir is, through the department, of Veterinary and Livestock Services. Now, the Department of Veterinary and Livestock Services provide veterinarians, those health workers, animal health workers, who come do inspection. They are the primary function of the veterinarians in that come to work in the abattoir is for them to do the pre and post-mortem examination of animals there that are meant for the market for that time. So if animals are brought for slaughter, they are inspected, the pre-inspection, when they are yet to be slaughtered. You can detect something. The vets are trained to just detect by sight some of the diseases that are not condonable.
Okay. Apologies to interrupt you. We dive into that as we go along. Having spoken about the facilities, we'll talk more about that as we continue with the program. But for now, let me come to you, Sarki-Naira. You are the chairman of the National Butchers Union in Benue State. Your members operate directly in the abattoirs. Give us an understanding of what you are facing in the abattoirs in terms of your practice there.
So, good morning once again, as well as the question. Actually, we are having a lot of challenges in the abattoir. A lot of challenges, but I know we are managing them based on the condition. Really, the abattoirs are not standard. They are not standard. We are managing them based on the condition we know. It is the government that has something to do over there. The past government, we have tried our best so that they will come and fix it for us, but unfortunately, we could not get that assistance. So we are hoping this time around the government, we know the government is just a new government, but we believe, inshallah, they are going to do something changeable to the abattoirs. You see, as my doctor said earlier, in terms of water and the rest, we are having a lot of challenges. We buy water from the water boards. We sink a boreholes, we sink a well just to get water. You know, in abattoir, you cannot do with just one thing, which is water. Water is life. You cannot just slaughter a goat without having water close to you. Take less more of a cow. Not one, not two, not three in numbers. We must have water there. Secondly, the waste point. We don't have it. There is a place where we manage, we just sink, where we normally drop our refuse there. So those are the little things we are managing in the abattoir for now.
Okay, but there are concerns that your members are still in the practice of slaughtering animals on bare floor, given maybe the lack of facilities, if that is the situation, and particularly the repeated warning that your members should stop burning animals with tires, that some are still in that unhealthy practice.
Okay. Thank you.
Why is this so?
Actually, like what Mr. Doctor said, Dr. Amali said, the Nasiriya are there, the local governments are there, whoever that is concerned is there. Of course, yes, they are there. This burning of a tire of a thing, I believe in you. You said nothing but the truth, but we are trying our best. We have abattoirs, almost 4 or 5 abattoirs in Makurdi only. Me as a chairman, we do meeting. Doctors know. We keep on warning them, don't use tire for burning of animals. Use wood, which I believe at times, Gaskia, they used to use the wood, but when you are backsided them, they do underground business, using tires to burn those cows. Of course, yes, they do. It's not good, it's not hygienic. That can cause a sickness, which I think last 2 weeks or 3 weeks back, we had collaboration, awareness with my president over here, the veterinary president, in Wurkum Abattoir. We all been together. And they have seen what we are doing, 100%. We are trying our best. But you cannot be 100%. At least let me say 90%. We are trying our best. We are trying our best. In terms of my people, you said, the slab issue, yes. Doctor has said it too. We are just managing. If we are talking of standards, no, we don't have it. We don't have facilities. And the butchering is part of our, it's just our business that we inherited from our forefathers. We don't have any other business more than the butchering. We are appealing. Let the government come into our rescue. Let them come for our rescue.
Okay, Dr. Amine, this issue of burning animals with tires, animals that are slaughtered for human consumption, walk us through the health implication of this.
Tires, when you burn them, what you produce are hydrocarbons. And these, when accumulated in the system over time, are capable of causing long-term diseases like cancers. And the problem with these diseases is the fact that at the time that you eventually come down with the disease and become sick, you may not even be able to trace it to the source. And so the advocacy had been that we should avoid the usage of tires, because if you go to where they are burnt, you inhale the fine particles, the soot, and they get into your system. And science has it that over time you develop cancers. And if you agree with me, cancer has become a menace in society, different types, and most times they are terminal diseases. In some instances, if early detection is noticed, surgically they may be removed, maybe through radiation therapy, other medications. But when they have become advanced, and then even that, those are the ones that maybe are local, they stay in one place. We call them benign tumors or cancers. But if it is the type that moves all over through blood circulation, what we call metastatic cancers, then it's not curable. You can't do anything about it. Now, if you work in the abattoir, one of the things that as an association we're trying to do is to give these frontline risk takers the necessary education, understanding that, look, this thing that is going on is not only just going to affect the buyers of the meat. You who is a worker in the slaughter slab is also going to face this, and in a higher dosage, actually. Because you are the one who burns the tire every day, you are the one who roasts the animals on it, you are the one who inhale the smoke, the soot, and the hydrocarbons that come out of it, and all of that. So you are in the front line of contracting these diseases. So burning of tires, in a nutshell, is not a healthy way of meat preparation. And people should, as much as possible, try to desist from it. As a matter of fact, it may be difficult for them to use the common grass that they do, but or firewood, because of the costs. Some of these things have cost implications, and it could be the reason why people are running away. But in the end, our life is important, and it should be our concern to see as much as we can preserve our lives and the lives of the people we are trying to serve and help. So we want to appeal that the butchers, the chairman is here, like he said, is somebody that is known to us. We have interacted with him. Even on short notice, when you need his attention, you're going to get that. And so we are still sending this message through him to his members to avoid the usage of tires in roasting animals for public consumption or even for self-consumption. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Amali, Earlier on, you were talking about the role of veterinarians in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Are your veterinarians available to supervise the activities of butchers at the abattoirs, especially with regards to this practice of roasting animals with tires?
Thank you. Yes, they are. And this question has become a challenge to us in the ministry because maybe the way the abattoir looks, it seems like the vets are not there. If they were there, things would have been better sanitized and maybe things would be functioning more, but they are there. Their job starts at 6 a.m. At the abattoirs there, so most people don't get to see them because they also return to clinical duties after their supervision of slaughter in the abattoirs. Let's pardon us to say abattoirs because we want to better be used to an abattoir than the slaughterhouses.
Okay.
Yeah, so they are there. And I also challenge you at this time, anytime you feel like you want to find out, you go to these abattoirs, you'll find them there. What happens, to answer your question directly, they are there. And we have those enough for that function that you would always find there. They perform other functions as well, not only inspection of animals. Students come there and they are like for their IT, and they are like there for all year. So they take them on, show them normal animals, show them the abnormal ones. During post-mortem examinations, they are there to show them the normal things and the unusual ones that they work with, that they have to condemn, that are not consumable. So they are there.
Okay. Let me ask you, if they are there, the Butchers Union chairman had admitted here that some of their members are still in the practice. If veterinarians are there, how then is it that the practice still subsists?
Maybe we should go back now to what I wanted to say earlier.
Okay.
The role that they play in the abattoir, what the public don't understand is that the veterinarian goes to the abattoir. It is not his business, the sanitation of the abattoir. He's a doctor. He comes there, takes a look at the animals. Are they okay? They slaughter the animals. Are the internal organs okay for consumption? If they are, he endorses it, and then they are moved from there. He makes sure that the animals that are slaughtered are fit for consumption. They will supervise it to the point that they are lifted from the abattoirs to the marketplaces, fit for consumption. If they are not fit, they are condemned, and we put them away by burning them. And this is their role. So that's why I'm saying to you that most of the activities in the abattoirs are credited to the Ministry of Agriculture, to the Veterinary Services, Veterinary and Livestock Services Department, but it is not exactly so. Their role is to walk in very early in the morning before slaughter starts, inspect the animals while they are alive, inspect the animals after slaughter, confirm that the animals going to the abattoirs for consumption of the citizens are wholesome. That's what their role is.
Okay.
So now I want to continue.
Yes.
So that's why I mentioned BENSESA, Ministry of Environment, Water Resources and Environment, and BENSESA is the sanitation agency. I think these things need to be pulled out and made clear to the public. BENSESA, their role is to come around, look at the sanitation. A vet will not be responsible to evacuate animal dung. They won't be responsible, the vet. That's not his business. That's not his job. He's finished his job, and the rest of the pull out from it has to be evacuated. The sanitation of that place has to be supervised and enforced by some other agent that collaborates with the Ministry of Agriculture. So I began by saying it's a collaborative effort. The Ministry of Agriculture is involved, environment is involved, local government is involved, and an agency, federal agency like NASRIA is involved as well. Now, that is what Bensesa has to be doing. Now, we move to NASRIA. NASRIA is a national sanitation agency, but the enforcement arm of it. So if you look at the questions you have asked earlier, that the one you asked the chairman of Butchers and the NVMA chairman, NASRIA, I mean enforcement of sanitation. So if nothing is done about singeing of, that is roasting of the skin with tires, and NASRIA is there, they have to play a role, and their role is even enforcement. The people who clean the abattoir, keep it clean, you can ascribe that to Bensesa. The people who enforce this activity, that is NASRIA. We have them in this state. In fact, we have been working with them too, but I think lately they too have found out that there is some difficulties in making this work. Because sometimes the butchers prove headstrong, and you heard that from their chairman. Sometimes, let's not say the wrong things here, but sometimes they can be very, very headstrong indeed, and they can refuse to obey some of our instructions. Let me go to local government, the role of the local government. It is the state government that builds abattoirs. When they build it, they don't run it. They hand the running, the maintenance of the abattoirs to the local government. And this is what should obtain. Actually,
again, I will beg to interrupt you here, because beyond Makurdi, we are going to give a spotlight on other areas too, based on our investigations. I will come to the level of local governments.
No. The level that the local government is being mentioned now,
yes,
is just their role. So we're not talking other things.
Okay.
Just as the role that the Ministry of Agriculture plays there, and the environment, NASRIA, Bensa, and so on. So the local government one.
But your ministry supervises all of these, including those that are operated by the local governments. Is this not the situation?
It's not the situation.
How about the ones in Makurdi? Are they under the control of Makurdi local government or under the control of Ministry of Agriculture?
I'm saying that every one of the four that I have mentioned are involved in this. It's a collaborative thing. If you say the veterinary doctor should supervise the clearing of dungs and all those things,
no, that aspect you have established it clearly. We owe it a duty to do a follow-up with Bensesa and NASRIA. Some of
exactly, that's why we are here.
That they are not here to make their own part understood to us. Yes. We will do a follow-up with them. But I'm asking you on the aspect of, you mentioned local government's involvement in the operation of the abattoirs. The state government builds them, but it is the local government that operates them.
That maintains.
Okay. So maintains them, right? Okay, so the ones in Makurdi are under the maintenance of Makurdi local government per se.
That is what it's supposed to be, yes.
But your ministry supervises it.
I have said this before. Okay, let us say, if you have a role to play in a place, you have your supervisors. You should have your supervisors. Let us say the issue of meat and meat consumption falls under agriculture, yes. And now we are saying that agriculture plays its role and is specific. So all over, after all said and done, everyone will agree that, yes, Ministry of Agriculture is ascribable to Ministry of Agriculture, but it must be understood that most of the areas where the Ministry of Agriculture is blamed is not rightly done. You know, like what will the ministry do exactly if the local government does not play its role? So this is the reason why we want to explain this, so that we ginger up the various roles that should be played there. I think all of the arms of the role play stakeholders there, we just get up now and ginger up. So we are saying, and I want to land, that of the local government, I hope you now understand that. The maintenance, because they are there, they collect revenue every day for the maintenance of the abattoirs. I'm just making bold to say this, but their functions are there very bare for us to see. Sometimes you would say, who is responsible? Why is this place broken? Why is the gutter? There is a specific arm that is meant and is responsible for that, not the Ministry of Agriculture. Why is this heaped, this dung heaped this way? There is a specific arm that is also supposed to take care of this. So we want to awaken and make this call to awaken all the groups that are supposed to be playing their role in the abattoir and not leaving everything to the so because some of them, even if you get to the office, they say go to the Ministry of Agriculture. They have their own responsibilities, which are being left untackled. So we want to tackle the problem of sanitation, the problem of lack of maintenance in the abattoirs. We want to take them to the right places so that we all work together collaboratively to make sure that the story changes. We need to change the story. And as some people will say, narrative.
Exactly. And that is the reason for this program, is just for us to address the issues so that the public to know the commitment you are doing with regards to this. But for now, I will come to you, Sarki Umar, shortly. Dear listener, in case you are just tuning in, you are listening to Perspectives on Agate Radio 95.5 Star FM Makurdi. Our focus is on the state of abattoirs in Makurdi. We've been discussing with the Director, Veterinary and Livestock Services in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in Benue State, Dr. Edward Amali. We also have as our guest on the program the Chairman, Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association Benue State Chapter, Dr. Andrew Amine, and the Chairman, National Butchers Union Benue State, Umar Sarki-Naira. These are the guests we have on the program, and you too can call in at 10 o'clock to participate on the program. The line for text messages and WhatsApp chats is already open for your messages. That line is 09126999404. 09126999404. That line is available for messages, which if you are sending, please remember to include your name and the location you are sending it from, so as to enable us to take your contribution. And at 10 o'clock, the one for calls, I'll remind you to call. Once we draw closer to that time, I'll remind you of that line. You may also listen to us via our website on www.agetradiotv.com. And you may follow the live stream on all our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You may also on X, formerly Twitter. All these platforms were there for you to follow us, the live stream of the program. Sarki-Naira, I am with you now, and you have listened to the position of the ministry. Are you satisfied with the involvement of all the stakeholders, the Ministry of Agriculture, the environmental agencies, with regards to activities of your members in the abattoirs, how they operate with you?
Yes, actually I accepted what my doctor said. We work with the Ministry of Agric, Nasuriya, Bensesa, local governments. All these we are working hand in hand with them. Based on the sanitary of the abattoir, as well as you said, yes, the government gave us workers under Bensesa, but we pay them. Every day you go to the abattoir, you see them sweeping the abattoir after the daily works. You can go there tomorrow. You can testify this. We do our best, like the Nasuriya. Even last week they are with me. Based on the tire aspects, I now took them We went to where they are roasting those cows. They see it is a chaff, bag of chaff those boys have brought, and they were using it to burn off the skin and the cows. So in this regard, I think we are trying, as my doctor said, changes. Every day we need changes, and we are trying to change by the special grace of God.
Okay. In terms of conveying animals that are slaughtered from the abattoir to the markets,
Yeah.
there have been growing public concerns that they are not properly conveyed.
Thank you for
Sometimes you see animals even being conveyed openly on motorcycles.
that. Yeah, of course. Actually, with wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrows.
Of course, yes.
Blood dripping on the road and all of that. Are you aware of the implications of this on public health and the consumption of such meat?
I am very well aware of that. There is a vehicle that was given to us. Doctor said it. Doctor took me to Abuja. This vehicle were distributed nationwide.
You have one for you.
In fact, I have one. I have one. Let me repeat it, I have one. You know, most of the abattoirs we work, that's normally where we sell our meat. If you go to Wadata Abattoir, that's where they slaughtered and that's where they sell the meat. If you go to Modern Market Abattoir, that's where they slaughter and that is where they sell the meat. Come to Wurkon Abattoir. It is just few that have been taken out of the abattoir. And based on the situation now, if you ask anybody to give you 2,000 naira to put fuel, 2,000 naira fuel is just 2 liters. Cannot take you to anywhere. So they feel taking the meat on top of machine or wheelbarrow is easier for them. But they have forgotten the influence of that. The vehicle is with me as a chairman. Doctors knows. When we had a meeting in Wurkum on this awareness last 2 weeks, the vehicle is there. The vehicle is there. But taking of the meat to various destinations, bet you where our slaughter is, that's where we sell the meat. Most of the meat. In fact, in 10%, 9% are sold there in the abattoir. Where will you take it to? Where you are supposed to take it, the owner of the cow cannot give the fueling money to fuel this cow from here to there. You have nothing to do.
Okay. Dr. Amali, you wish to weigh in on this. Please go ahead.
Yes. Yes. First of all, we must give credit to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. When I went to Abuja and made the request that if we are going to complete our responsibility to the public on these public health matters as it has to do with abattoirs, we would need a cold van to help the butchers convey this meat from the abattoirs to the marketplaces where they are sold to the public. It must be done hygienically. It had been so bad to the extent that sometimes my staff and I will stand at the Wurukun roundabout and physically handle these people who transport this meat without covering them, at least to the best of their capacity and ability. Now, they cannot have vehicles, they cannot, like cold vans, to move the meat to the market. So the best that they can do, they should do it very, very well, covered and well protected. Some even drag on the floor. But so we used to go to those particularly the Wurukun roundabout, and show them the way to do this thing practically. We did it to the extent that we had to return some of the meat and go to the abattoir and condemn them. So they are doing it better now. But when we got to Abuja and they gave us an approval, that's the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security now, they gave us a cold van, which is very available. And I even thought he was going to come here with it so you can see it for yourself. Now, we have the code van. It's brand new.
Maybe he has come with it. It's outside.
Maybe it is there.
He possibly could not have driven it.
No,
into
of course,
studio.
of course. I'm saying that just to prove it to you. To prove it to you, when you finish, you see it, you confirm what we're talking about. It's even brand new. Until now, it is just brand new. They have maintained it very well. But the problem is, who is going to fuel it? What we thought from Abuja was, by the time we come and we hand over the vehicle, it is not the business of the state government to do that. So the butchers who do the business would organize, plan by themselves how to raise monies, and then, so if you are transporting to one place and the other, you need to just drop some money for fuel. So the fare and the expenses involved in activating the vehicle is the problem right now. The vehicle is there, at their service is there, but because of the cost involved in moving the vehicle to do this, so they will not be very interested. That is where that problem is now. Otherwise, the facility for that one is very available. You can call any butcher can call the chairman who send the vehicle there, as long as a token can be dropped for fuel and perhaps the driver. So this eats into their profit or something, so they're not interested. It's cheap to do it with the wheelbarrow, 100, 200 naira, just take it across. And so they have stuck to that. The facility for that one is available. You can't talk anything wrong about government not being involved in that side of it. That one we have, and it's very functional.
Okay, Dr. Amine, what should be the standard procedure of handling meat for human consumption from the point of abattoir slaughter to moving it to the market?
When the question came in and the chairman talked about fueling, I was just laughing. We operate a system where everybody is basically struggling to survive and put his head above the waters. If you purchase meat, let's say you're having a meeting and you don't have a car and you went to buy head of cow, or let's say lap of cow, and at say 10,000-15,000, then you ask this van to convey this meat for you, and the van now charges you 4,000 to convey the meat. The first thing that comes to mind is that if I have 4,000, I may buy one small chicken and add. And if I serve it to the chairman, he will feel bigger than the rest of the congregation. But you see that as it may, if in the process of transporting the meat, and you find one spore of anthrax, so to speak, on the meat, and it can wipe the entire, it can cause a lot of problem. Let me put it that way. So for me, the chairman, sir, you can find a way around this. Maybe a contributory support or fund for the vehicle, some sort of subsidized system. Because the question that Nathaniel has asked me, which is the best way to move meat, for me is going to be a theory. As a lecturer, I know we do a lot of theory teaching in class before we go to do the lab. But where you know that it's not about just saying it. Okay, the standard thing is that if the animal gets to the abattoir, for example, it should be in the larage. There is no larage. You should wait for a number of days. There is no facility to house the animal that long. Then you carry out antemortem examination before postmortem. And sometimes by the time, like a director said, the veterinarian gets to the abattoir very early in the morning. Sometimes the animals to be slaughtered arrive the abattoir in the night. And there is no place to keep them. So what are we going to do? That's why we are having this conversation. And I am appealing to stakeholders, and by that I mean the government, to make available the facilities so that the right thing could be done. Now, when this meat is processed correctly, the only time that the cow, for example, has business being on the floor It's just when you're going to slaughter it. And then you make an opening through the Achilles tendon and hoist this animal on the rail. It will drain blood properly and the taste of the meat will be different when you consume it. So when the meat is up, as you get the portion that you're taking it's not touching the ground, it's going into the container that you're going to convey it. And then if it is big, it should be transported in cold van. But here we have the challenge of petroleum costs that is going to fuel the vehicle. But for those who have their personal vehicles, we advise that, and even the Butchers Union, if we have a little savings of say 50 naira per slaughter, it's not everybody that transports it. So those that genuinely need to transport, just so that we can maintain a little standard. And this meat, one funny thing about meat is you can sell bad meat to somebody thinking he will consume it. You might end up eating that meat. Because we Africans, we visit people, we visit a restaurant, you don't know where this meat ends. That's why as veterinarians and as an association of the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Benue State, we are concerned about that. Because we feel that our members are endangered, our family members are in trouble, our friends on radio are at risk as well. And so we should try to understand that. So to answer the question directly, if you have meat and you're going to transport it, you inspect it, make sure the meat is fit for consumption, and then you transport it in cold vans to the destination where they will be consumed. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Amali, we shall be engaging with callers very soon. But earlier on, you mentioned the position of local governments in the maintenance of the abattoirs. We've been talking about Makurdi, for instance. How about the situation in Boko, Otukbo, and some major towns in Benue? From your ministry, are you in touch of what is happening with the maintenance of abattoirs in these places?
Yes, of course. As a state, all of these provisions are under the overall supervision of the state. So we are very, very involved. In Boko, for example, you still have the same arrangement. You just have the same arrangement, except that, and not even except that, the Boko local government has a staff deployed to the abattoir. He's there every day. And his job is not to inspect meat, just as the other sanitation people, all of them, and their business is not to inspect meat. Their role there is to get some revenue, which should be meant to maintain the abattoirs. If the roof is blowing off, they should just patch it up. If this one is not there, if they have water system that is getting, maybe dried up like the wells that they have and all that, they should make effort to bring that back to work. So this is the same as in Kasinala, in Otukbo, in Ogbadibo, and so on. It's still the same thing. But we are saying it's a wake-up call that they should gear up and live up to their responsibilities. If not, there is no solution to this yet. If they do not, there is no solution. Just as the others as well. They need to come up. And so we sit up to our responsibilities by collaboration. When you do this, the next person does his own, the next person does his own. The story will be different around the abattoirs. But the principal thing for now is that repeatedly we have said we do not have an abattoir. My call to His Excellency, he has come, he has made this situation as bad as it is. Yes, but I'm sure if His Excellency passes around the abattoirs today, he too will not be happy at all. I'm sure he has not. I have seen in my own estimation that His Excellency is doing the things he's doing stage by stage, and I'm sure that the areas that he has touched so far have been excellently done. By the time he turns his face to the abattoir, I know smiles will come onto the faces of all those who have had it distorted in bad light. And there are some people around who will tell you that just when they were eating meat without problem until they went to the abattoir. Now they don't even eat meat and so on and so forth. All of those things will change. I just have the belief that His Excellency is listening. The cry is plenty, and he would be able to do something to help us. We just beg him to help us. This case is too bad now. It's too bad now.
Our reporter who had gone to the field to some of these abattoirs, he has not eaten meat for the past 2 days.
Thank God he's eating food.
Dr. Amine, you wish to chip in very quickly, just a few minutes, that I would take the call.
Yes, I know that the director, being a staff of the ministry, try to answer these questions the way he does. For me, Benue State government needs to engage more veterinarians, no doubt. If you have abattoir in all the local governments, there won't even be vets to man them. So we're appealing that more hands should be engaged. When you were emphasizing the other question, I was smiling. Because if you have 4 abattoirs in Makurdi alone, and if you expect one veterinarian to inspect 50 cows a day, and times 4, and sometimes you kill more than that, then you're not being realistic. We need more veterinarians in the state civil service to be able to carry out this inspection. I have it on good authority that last week, Bauchi State government engaged 75 vets. Bauchi State government. And some of these vets are in-school veterinarians. They were placed on grade level 6 and 7, depending on their level in the university. If they are in the preclinical years, that is 200 level to 400 level, they are placed on grade level 6 and the others grade level 7. That's to tell you that this state needs the services of veterinarian in all parts of the state. So if you're a student in one local government, once you're on holiday, you assist the employed vet to do the job. So we're using this opportunity to also call for employment of more vets into the state civil service. Besides that, we would want the services of the abattoir in other local government, at least in the state headquarters, so that meat will be inspected. Because as it is, I'm not sure in some of these local government headquarters, meat inspection is done. People slaughter where they want to slaughter.
We'll come to that inspection because it is another issue very deeply we are going to look into. Yes. Dr. Amali, you wish to respond to that? Maybe you want to start giving the employments right here.
No, I just want to make it open also. So these are challenges that we expect to be resolved for the betterment of society, and that's why we're saying it. Nobody is at war here. The Benue State government has only 9 vets. Veterinary doctors,
Currently?
Currently.
In the ministry?
Yes, correct. The whole ministry has only 9 veterinary doctors. This, in other places, should be referred to as an emergency. Just as we do not have an abattoir, we think that the state government should actually have had a massive abattoir. Nasarawa State has every other place, especially here in the north. Now, talking about the veterinary doctors, we have only 8 of them. And these 8, and the prescription of the federal government is that every state should get at least 50 vets. At least that's the prescription from the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. Now, if we don't have at least 50 vets, according to the federal government, then at least we should have 23 vets. 23 we are proposing that at least we can have 23 vets employed. That is for the local governments, 1 each, and you see how inadequate that should be. We should have them, 1 each, in each local government.
Okay.
Then the ones we have now command the headquarters, because there's a lot of work to be done at the headquarters, and they should be there, especially by their promotion. So if we can have this, it will boost the activity that we are into and that we are talking about right now.
Okay, let's engage with those listening to us. We have several calls already waiting on the line for those who have the line already. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Perspectives.
Yes, I'm Kwaza Vincent calling from North Bank, Makurdi.
All right, good to have you on the program, Kwaza Vincent.
Yes, my regards to the guests in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, the condition of our abattoirs in Benue State or in Makurdi is so pathetic that when you go to these our abattoirs, you discover that the necessary facilities that are supposed to be put in place for abattoir to be called abattoir are not there. First, if you look at the source of water, there is no water there, there is no light. Sometimes these women go around to hawk to get water to come and sell for them, which the source of water where they are coming and bringing the water is unknown. The hygienic nature of the water is not there. Sometimes they use this stream, this nearby stream, to scoop this water from this stream to come and maybe clean up these animals. So the hygienic nature is not there. And when you see, most of the times when they sell these animals and they have not finished selling it, they convert animals, this meat, from these abattoirs to find a place where they can go and preserve these animals for the next day. But if there is light there and all the necessary things are there, they will keep the animals in the refrigerator, the meat in the refrigerator there, so that the next day they will sell. But they look for where they will go and keep this meat for the next day to be sold. And sometimes the process of transporting this meat to the place where they will have it is open. They'll give all this wheelbarrow, they'll put it, when you move around the Urukum side, you will discover that they push this meat on the wheelbarrow without covering the meat. But if government can provide all these necessary facilities for the abattoirs, it will go a long way in helping. Because if, for instance, now we don't pray for any disease, but if this thing now come out, government will spend money instead of using this money now to provide all these necessary facilities in our abattoirs. They are not doing. But when the outbreak come now, they will spend money in treating people. So if they can make these facilities available in our abattoirs, it will go a long way in us. So if possible, if they can maybe give this contract to private individuals to manage these abattoirs, it will also be good. Because an individual will manage something effectively, sometimes more than the government. So if they can hand over this abattoir, if government is not able to do, they should hand over to private organizations so that they will manage this our abattoirs. Thank you. That is my contribution.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Vincent. We appreciate you. Okay, investment. Those who are investors are listening to us, not the investors in the caliber of Flavinus.
Mm-hmm. And the government is very ready to welcome them.
Okay, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning
Nathaniel.
to you. Good morning. Welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Vincent Ako. I'm calling from Wadata.
Oh, it's a day of Vincent. Our first caller was a Vincent, and now we have a second caller, Vincent. Vincent Ako, thank you for joining us. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. My regards to all your guests in the studio.
Thank you, Vincent Ako.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to say that the state of that Wadata market abattoir is becoming an eyesore. As a matter of fact, the way they are butchering meat there and the way they are rubbing the meat on the ground is very bad. If you go to that abattoir, you will see maggots all over, and these guys will just be butchering the meat there. Sometimes even the animal health workers will come, and then they will stand. Instead of doing the right thing, sometimes they will compromise. I'm not accusing them, but sometimes they will just collect money and then they will give them some piece of meat and then they will just go. So I want to beg Dr. Amali to please try and supervise his boys or his men, that so that they will be doing the right thing. They shouldn't be allowing he shouldn't be allowing his officers to be compromising, collecting meat and money from them. I want to also say that at least the River Benue is there. They should look for this water pumping machine at least to be drawing water so that these guys will be washing the meat. Honestly, that thing can even cause an outbreak of disease that will even kill people. It's not good. If he has not been there, he should try and go to that place and see things for himself so that he will try and work on it. I know they are doing their best, but just as Oliver Twist will always ask for more, they should do more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vincent. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver Twist, Vincent. Okay, thank you so much for drawing the attention of the director to that. I hope you will take action very promptly too. And we'll come to you, Sarki-Naira, very soon. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome to the
How
program.
are you in the studio?
I'm fine, thank you.
Fine.
You are speaking with Pastor Hyacinth on the Yavga Amua from Mukum local government, to be precise in Seto Amastini.
Thank you, Andu Yavga Moa.
Yes, I want to contribute my part, especially the Abattoir in Zekibia. If you go there, people gather to buy their meat, and grasses, the environment is so dirty. The grass overcomes the place. So these are animals. The people, the task force that I do come to ascertain the health of the animals. As the other man from Makurdi there reported that they negotiated and collected some money and part of the meat. This is what is happening at Jackie.
Hello, do you have guy there?
Hello?
Yes, you are on. Speak to us.
Some animals, they're not sorted at that abattoir. They are killed somewhere else. They don't know the state of the animal that they are brought there. They just took it somewhere. They sorted it and they roasted it somewhere else. We don't know the condition. We don't know the state of the animal. They just brought it there and begin to say to people to consume. So I'm calling up to the agent that they should appropriately look into that issue so that the abattoir will not come the death trap to our head. That is my contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ondo Yavga, for also drawing our attention to the situation in Ukum, that is in Zakiban. As he said, the number to call is 0814-33-59292. 0814-33-592 if you are just joining us. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, Nathaniel. Good morning to the guests in the house. My name is Alexis.
Your name
Nongu.
is? Your name is who?
Alexis.
Alexis
Nongu.
who?
Nongu. Jeff.
Okay, Alexis Jeff, thank you for joining us. How is Gwe? Which part of Gwe are you calling us from?
Park City.
What's Park City?
That is Ballon, in Ballon.
Okay, in Ballon. It's okay. Parka. Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Please go ahead, Alexis.
My greetings to the doctor, the two doctors there.
Thank you very much, Alexis.
The Chairman Abattoir. What I want to say is that it's a very good program, a very good topic. It has to deal with public health. So you see, in this war, we should not go blaming people. Next time, if he wants to do such a thing, all the agencies should be involved so that everybody will be accountable and everybody will answer. Trying to school the other people. The problem we are having in the abattoir are a lot. During the post-mortem inspection, you see sometimes the meat are not really in good condition, but the veterinary is there, allow it to happen. After killing them, putting them on the table, an environmental health technician will come there and say, this meat is no good. And the veterinary doctor will say, why are you talking like this? They are supposed to work hand in hand, not showing that this one has power more than the other place. So that is not good. So we are trying to find a solution because we are dealing with human beings, which of course is public health. And if he doesn't know about the gazetted that is leading, check his own gazetted function in veterinary, and that of the sanitation is different. It's not always sweeping. The hygienic condition of the place, the health condition of that person who is selling that meat, is it the work of the veterinary? I don't know.
Okay.
But we want to way forward.
Thank you.
All right.
The way forward is for us to just come as one and ensure that we get this thing right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexis. We appreciate your contribution. Thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Amali, I will allow you to respond to some of these concerns very briefly, especially the one raised by Alexis. He alleged, this is an allegation, but before that, let's engage with a few more persons. I'll come back to you shortly. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for holding on.
Yes.
Peter Pila, I'm calling from IBB Square here, Benue State.
Thank you, Peter Pillar. How is,
I want to thank you.
How is IBB Square?
We thank God. We thank God. I want to thank your guest.
Okay, Peter.
Thank you very
And I
much.
want to thank you so much for this topic. Very, very important. You see, they always say that health is wealth. That is how we human beings say it. At the same time, we human beings pray to be sacrificial, disciplined. If you look at the way they do move with meat, you will shed tears. They tie it on motorbikes. You see the blood will spraying on ground. You look at their clothes. Those people that butcher this meat, you look at their clothes, and you imagine whether they do wash them. Somebody is putting on that clothes to complete 1 month. They don't wash it. So germs will attach on it, and then we attach on the meat. They will play with it, rub it on their bodies in the name of their butchers. So what are we doing? We know what is right, but we fail to do what is right. Okay, people who are in charge to go and supervise, what do they do? As the other brother was saying, you go there, you cannot sanction them, and then you play over it, and then you go. You are causing harm to humanity, and it's going to also affect you directly. No two ways about it. The only way forward is for us to always cry government, government. We are part of government. We should do everything humanly possible to also complement the effort of government. If the facilities are not there, and then in our own little way, how are we doing it? Do we get clean water? They keep on warning people not to be using tires to burn meat. Are they keeping to those instructions? No. You also see them by the roadside using tires to burn meat, to roast meat. They are using tires, and the government is warning. They warn them, but they still persist in that act. And no one is arrested and brought to book, so that it should set an example for others. So we know what is right. Unless all of us go back to do what is right, government should fix the needed facilities for those abattoirs. Make it very clean, because you're coming here to collect tax. Then make sure that those things are kept in place. After fixing everything in order, then the people who are also working there should make sure that they are the ones to go to protect those facilities and make judicial use of them, so that when the meat is healthy, people consume it, they also live a healthy life. But when it's contaminated with germs, I'm telling you, they are killing people. That is sickness. That is my contribution.
Thank you very
sir.
much, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Okay, Dr. Amali, maybe let me start from the butcher's chairman. Is it true that officials, in whatever way, come to you and compromise your members, request meat and money for them to certify on heavy meat, and so some of these allegations raised by callers?
Thank you for the question.
React to this.
Actually, it wasn't like that, and it will never be like that. They don't compromise. They don't. I can remember the last cow that was seized by the members of the veterinary was buried in North Bank. Was buried in North Bank. If they are like that, they will have collected what they are supposed to collect and leave the cow. But it wasn't like that. And somebody made an observation of my workers 1 month without washing their clothes. I don't think people will believe that.
Okay.
Bet me you go to Abattoir now, it's 11 o'clock. You will see some of them washing their clothes, tying them against tomorrow. Go to Abattoir now, you will see that. Some cannot do it in the Abattoir, they will go down to the riverside in Wadata. That's where you can see more than numbers of people washing their clothes. They wash and dry it. So in this regard, it's not true, my brother. We don't compromise.
Maybe in other places.
We don't compromise giving the veterinarians meat or money for them to live. If my meat is bad, for them to leave the meat for me. No. They don't do that, and we don't do that. Whom we give money is the local governments. The local governments, we pay them every day their revenue. Maybe he may goes up, giving them money, will think maybe it's the veterinarians. They are not. Every blessed day we slaughter the number of cows, the number of goats, we pay to the local governments. Each cow is 150 naira. Each goat is 15 naira. So times the number of cows we slaughter, the number of goats, that is the money you will see, we will give it to the local governments. They have their staffs, 3 of them. Every day they work there with us. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Amali, respond to these concerns, especially beginning from Ondo Yabgamwa, who drew our attention to the issue in Oku. Vincent also made allegations of compromise, and Alexis James Jeff from Paka also made similar allegations. The Butchers Union man has stated his position. Are your veterinarians doing this?
I wish I would have spoken so that the director would round up as the man in authority. We are just an association.
Okay.
So that if I have concerns, he could also address them, actually. But, well, you are.
Go ahead.
Director, let's begin with you, because your veterinarians are the people who are out there in the field based on the information you have availed us here. Before we'll get the association to also comment.
So thank you, and thank you to all the contributors. This is how we build the system, checks and balances and all that. So if it's a good thing we're getting this kind of feedback, we perhaps are at the headquarters, and many times we don't go out onto the fields to supervise these things ourselves, even though we have our supervisors on the field too. It's not impossible that these things may happen. You know, as you know, our society the way it is now, there are people who would just choose to do the wrong things unknown to us. But I think to the best of our own knowledge, we haven't been having this kind of inputs. We have not been having them. Maybe for one reason or the other, they have not been able to reach us to present this kind of cases before us. But that we know they have been doing what they should be doing, because if you ask, you find the volume of the internal organs of animals that have been condemned, the number of kilograms of these animals, of these internal organs that are being condemned from day to day. It just gives us the picture that they are doing their job. In many cases, it is not only the state veterinarians that are on duty, that can be on duty. I earlier told you that we are very, very short of veterinarians. So, but we have other capable hands in the name of animal health technologists who are equally as good. And where we lack the veterinarians, that's the doctors themselves to be, as a result of the shortage that we have. They stand in, and they have been doing this job, and because of the level of experience they have had, they have been doing them well. It is nonetheless that we are going to take note of this, and we are going to deal appropriately with it. If we find one or two anywhere, we are going to deal appropriately with those situations, which we don't condone at all. We do not condone at all. There are other instances where I think Alexis also mentioned, is it Vincent? One of them mentioned that the situation where the public should be is their business as well. You will just be somewhere in the market, you will see someone butcher his animals in his house, slaughter in his house, butcher in his house, and bring them to the market, and you see them selling on the table. We have fought with them. We have, in fact, there was an instance that I was involved myself. I saw the animals, the slaughtered animals, in a bag that they carried, neatly done anyway. But they did it from home, you know. And we had to go to B division. I diverted them to B division by myself, and we had a long case. And you won't believe so many things. The people who will call, big people in society. So we want to appeal to the public also to play their own role. Why would you want to slaughter in the house? You know, why do you? So there are so many implications there that we must take note of. This, the public is a key factor in this, and that's why when I started, I talked of collaboration. Not only of the agencies that we mentioned, but of the public as well, so that we'll together make good progress in this. Other people have been able to do it. The singeing, the roasting of animals. There are many states that have come out successful with this. that in their states now there's no roasting of animals. Some people use gas. Some people even use chaff and all that, and to reduce the expenses of it. So it's not an excuse. Now I want to say something categorical here. In Benue State here, we have a law. We have a law against the roasting of animals with tires. And we have our meat edict also, which abhors all these sort of practices. So I'm saying that somehow perhaps we are not using the powers that we have. And I call on the State House for Assembly, they have passed this law. Let's find a way of enforcing this law. It's a law in the state, and we must obey the law. So we got to find a way of enforcing this law.
Okay. Dr. Amine, you have been itching to also chip in a word on these allegations. Please speak on that briefly.
Okay, thank you very much. I overheard one of the callers, I think Alexis also, say something about where somebody passes meat and the veterinarian say no, it should go. And I want to totally disagree with him. I don't think such a thing can take place. In the first instance, it is the vet who does the meat inspection. And I don't know who else would have done the meat inspection for a vet to come and pass what has been condemned. Be that as it may, I want to also say, sometimes when we speak, I am a very practical person. I grew up in the village, went through school like that. So I don't believe in...
Were you without shoes?
No.
Okay, if you were without shoes, would have guessed that you'd be a
my
future
peasant
president.
father would ensure that we got the basics.
That period passed before he
Yes,
came.
we actually,
Okay.
no, Jonathan was without shoes, so he's older than me.
Okay, Dr. Amine, please go ahead.
That's on a lighter note. Now,
Yes.
when we grew up, I know about the practicalities of everything. Practicing. Let us be honest. Most of the very senior people who even have capacity to slaughter cow in their houses, do they invite vets to inspect it? Don't they think that the cow they kill in their house could be having tuberculosis?
Yes, slaughter.
They don't doing that. So we have to be realistic about these things. Now, if you talk about condemning meat, so it's a business people are running. Before now, what we're taught is that if you condemn a meat, government pays compensation. So if somebody buys a cow for 400,000 naira and the cow has tuberculosis in the lung and you want to condemn, will you be fair to condemn the whole meat? And if you do that, who accounts for the entire losses? So we need to also be practical in the things that we're doing. That's why we're seeking this collaboration. When we go to the abattoirs, we are not just about condemnation. We want the abattoir workers to understand that, look, this has a danger, and you are not going to be left out. You may sell the animal and get the money, but you may end up in the grave too. So I just wanted to make that point. I kept itching because it was a huge indictment, and I needed to clear that there wouldn't be any such thing. I believe so.
It's good you have done so. Hello, good
Hello?
morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Kwasa Vincent back again.
Okay.
Now I want to ask a question.
Okay.
What are those veterinarians doing concerning these people that butcher this pork meat, this kind of meat? Or are they only monitoring these people that sell animal, these cattle?
Okay. Thank you, Kwasa.
Or what are they doing concerning them? Because they slaughter this pig anyhow and they sell anyhow everywhere in our country. But I don't see those people monitoring them.
Thank you.
So what are they doing concerning?
Thank you so much for that question. In fact, it was the next issue I was going to ask us to address, and a question just came about it from Kwasa. We'll come back to you in the studio shortly. Let's engage with some more persons. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, I want to respect the doctor, Amali, for kind of maturity and answering my question. My name is Alexis.
Your name?
Alexis.
Okay.
Alexis.
Alexis.
He managed to answer, but the other doctor was doing as if he was mocking me.
No, Alexis, nobody mocks anyone on this program.
Me in particular, the question I asked I said, who and who are in the studio there? If there are no representatives of Benseta or Nazara, they should call so that we will find a solution to this problem. I'm not accusing anybody.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Alexis, thank you. Your concern is noted. Earlier on, we had made it clear that the director mentioned the stakeholders involved and the areas of lapses, and we owe it a duty to follow up with these agencies. We are going to do that. We assure you.
Thank you very much.
Be assured that we are going to do that. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
My regard to the guest in the studio is Pastor Hassan Tamuaon, the Yaga from Petro Mastimenu, Kum local government, calling back.
Thank you very much, Amali.
When I was reporting the issue of Abattoir in Zekibiam.
Oh, quite unfortunate. We lost connection with Amoa. But the line is still open, 081433599292. 081433599292. We'll take a few messages, then we'll come back to you, I guess, in the studio. But just before the messages, some calls still waiting on the line. So let's engage with them. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Amine Godwin, calling from Mobile Barracks, Makurdi, Naka Road.
Okay, thank you, Amenge Godwin.
I so much enjoy your programs, and my regards and greetings to your guests.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'll be more specific concerning the abattoir chairman. Yes, what that young man from IBB Square said that abattoirs, sometimes they will not wash their clothes up to a month. I think he was like a kind of buck-tooting. That is exaggerating. But what is actually going on concerning abattoirs places, really, if you go there, it's not funny because the environment will be so dirty. Like if you go to this thing, towards village market, that is in Wedding Market, the environment and the front of the abattoir house, that gutter, it's very, very bad. Go to the same Wadata there, it's very, very bad. To the essence, if you go towards former Sakia place, so there is a guy that kills meat there. Even that place, it's not funny at all because it's well polluted with bad odor. Now, what am I trying to talk is, we don't have standard in any organization in our country, Nigeria. Well, earlier on, Mr. Izzy Agada says that we don't have abattoir. Yes, I agree with him because Arabian we have abattoir and government is involved. The process and in which they transfer those meats to those mini sellers, it's very, very bad. Because you see, most meat are being conveyed through Okada. But had it been there is standard and government involved, definitely they would have cooling vans that they would kill this meat, process it, then put it in those cooling vans, then begin to distribute to those mini sellers that are selling those meats there. So please, I'm begging that let the government, and it's not just a government issue alone, let individuals, well-meaning individuals that want to kill into this venture also apply their hands so that we will have a healthy environment, healthy meat to consume. That's just my own little take.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Godwin, for your contribution. This message says, good morning, sir. I am E.T. Abraham, behind Federal Low Cost here in North Bank, Makurdi. I want to sincerely applaud the gentlemen in the studio for their effective elaboration. However, I still want to appeal that if there is a way for the Ministry of Agri to examine those who engage with criminals to procure animals, henceforth investigate their customers and account their source of production, as well as ensure that those handling the slaughtering keep their body healthy to avoid transmission of human infections to animals. Once again, good morning. All right, thank you very much for your message. Another one here says, if the abattoir, they are paying government, let them give the abattoir full support by giving transport to one location to another. Okay, and maybe what to transport the slaughter animal from one location to another. That's what it's trying to convey. Tyavyar Utsongo from Seno Saive in Goma local government. Thank you, Tyavyar, for your message. Another one in our WhatsApp box here says, "Good morning. I get radio and a guest to the house. The condition of our abattoirs in Makurdi is so pathetic that when you go to most of our abattoirs, the necessary facilities like water and light are not there. Most of them scoop water from nearby streams, which their source are not hygienic, and the use of tires in roasting these animals is not good, despite the efforts of government in banning the practice. The government should try as much as possible to provide the necessary facilities for abattoirs to be called abattoirs or hand over to private individuals to manage them." I'm Kwaza Vincent from North Bank in Makurdi. Okay, Kwaza, thank you for your message. You have called in area 2 and sent messages. We appreciate all of that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yes, my name is Jude Peve. I'm calling from Bakumegwe East.
Good to have you on the program, Jude.
Thank you, Nathan. I salute your guest.
Thank you very much, Jude.
Yes, you see, the change begins with you and I. I am talking about attitudinal change here. The man that procure an animal to be slaughtered and said to the members of the public should do the right thing. Don't say because I am not the one eating, I can bring any animal that is unhealthy and slaughter in the abattoir for unwanted sales and consumption to members of the public. It's unhealthy. And another issue I want to raise is that the sanitary inspector should please sit up. In the olden days, we called them Dubageri. Nowadays, I don't even see them working. Are they still in existence? That is the number one question. They should please sit up and do the right thing. In the olden days, where they move from one slaughter slab to the other, inspecting animals before they are slaughtered. Nowadays, the reverse is the case. And lastly, I am calling on private participation. If people can go into table water business in Benue State, why can't they go into and apply for government so that they can secure a license and build proper abattoirs so that they can generate revenue for themselves and also help government on the other side pay revenues to the government coffers. Thank you.
Thank you, Jude. Thank you very much for your contribution. Okay, let me come to our guest back in the studio, Dr. Amali. Earlier on, we had a question which came from Kwazam Vincent on people who are into slaughtering of other animals like pigs for human consumption. And I had wanted us to address the issue of proliferation of roadside abattoirs. If you go around town in Makurdi, major places in town, you see tables where animals are slaughtered from whatever source you don't know. People are patronizing, including pig is the most common you see around. That's pork. Is there anything your ministry is doing, your directorate is doing with regards to addressing this issue?
Thank you very much. And I also appreciate the person who made the call. This has been a recurrent issue, and at certain times, we used to have an inspection team in the ministry that goes around to check on these fellows. There are many times that you will go there and you want to exercise your authority, you get very, very stiff opposition. The butchers will be there, they will try to attack you and do all sorts of things that we cannot talk about here. The attitudinal change that we need, they know that that's not the right place to be, to sell. It's not good by the roadside. Dust and carcinogenic materials, they come on this meat and people will still buy them. Those who are going to buy are incidentally, and sometimes the people who don't allow you to castigate the meat sellers by the roadside. If they are there, they will tell you, Ogami, I can't go from here to the abattoir. I cannot. Our market is very far from here. What would stop disturbing these people? Leave them, let them be selling in our neighborhood here. You know, you will find a lot of discouraging things. Issues. Sometimes if you go there and you say, okay, you want to enforce by force, you take the police along with you and all that. Sometimes you will find the next thing, somebody somewhere will begin to call you who is high and mighty, and they tell you, no, why you just be patient with these people, just be, those kind of subtle interventions. We have those challenges, and I think the next thing to do now, the enforcement officers are also there to help, but we want to appeal to the public first to change their attitude about these kind of behaviors that are roundly condemned. There are so many times that we'll put in all efforts and they will move away by themselves. 2-3 weeks later, you will see them in the same place. Yeah. And the other one, we asked him, what is the reason you left? Maybe you relocated to the marketplace and you are back here. He said he didn't even relocate to the market. Doesn't have money to get a store, a shop where he will sell the meat, and he doesn't have money to get a shop for himself. And then he doesn't know where to go. He can't go to the abattoir. It's congested in the abattoir, and a lot of excuses. So marketplaces, they tell you there is no space for them there. Let's get a good abattoir, a big abattoir, a modern abattoir we can call our own in this state, at least one, and upgrade the ones that we have, the other 4 that we have in Makurdi in the metropolis here, while we attend to the other ones in the local governments. Is an issue that is burning. It has to do with, first, making sure that where the butchers who are interested in butchering are properly located, and sometimes trying to use force to push them out of the place. Sometimes you want to use force, you begin to look at it yourself, but it's been a difficult attempt at controlling these fellows. But we are trying our best day to day, and many of them have relocated. Sometimes we meet them at home. We'll trace them back to their houses, sit down and discuss, tell them the implications of their action. Okay. And a couple of them leave.
Apologies to interrupt you very briefly. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, presenter, and good morning, the guests.
Yes, good morning to you. We celebrate you for being our first caller.
I want to make my contribution.
Let's know your name, then you go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, my name is Blessing Azende.
Blessing Azende, where are you reaching us from?
I'm calling from Yorkia.
From?
Yorkia.
Yorkia. Which part of Yorkia? Hello? Blessing Azende.
Yeah, hello. The one close to prisons. The area close to prison.
Okay, Yakio. Oh, okay. Thank you, Blessing. Please go ahead. You have this phone so much, so I know they hear
Sorry about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I want to make my contribution. The refrigerators where this meats are preserved should at least be cleaned once in a week. And then the power supply, if JED or NEPA cannot power this most strategic place, let the solar system be installed. And then for the cleanliness of the abattoir, sometimes when you go there, you just shake your head and you be like, you know what, I'm done eating the red meat. In fact, I'm a vegetarian from henceforth. Because once the meat drops to the floor, it drops to the cow dung, it's picked up and then not washed. Straight.
Hello, Blessing?
Yes. Hello?
Yes, you're on.
Yeah, so I said the place should be cleaned up.
Yes.
And then let water supply, at least an upgraded abattoir will be of great importance to we, the consumers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate you. And that will be our last call on the program, so that we'll gradually conclude. Okay, Director. So in summary, you have given commitment of clamping down on those operating by the roadside selling meats. That is how.
Yes, while appealing to them also that they act the attitude. Why don't you understand that this thing that people are talking against, every day they still go back and do the same thing? We are telling you, don't roast by the roadside. Is it unless we use force? Is it unless we use force? Why won't we understand by ourselves that these practices are not good?
It's okay.
Not because we are not talking about it. Every day we are on radio, appealing to people, appealing. Why would you still do this?
Okay.
It seriously depends on our attitude. Seriously.
All right. Sarki-Naira,
Yeah.
you are the chairman of the Butchers Union.
Yeah.
Are your members into this practice? The people who operate by the roadside, are they registered members? Do you regulate them? What is your union doing with regards to addressing it, the situation?
You see, actually, they are registered members. You see, like the people from the abattoirs, I told you, once they sell in the abattoir, the remaining ones, they took it to the various places. They are the members. They are our members, fully members. Not that they are not our members.
Okay, so why will you allow your members to go selling meat by the roadside, slaughtering from wherever you don't know?
My members don't slaughter cow outside the abattoirs. My members.
No, but you just admitted that they want the people some of whom are selling by the roadside.
Roadside is different than butchering abattoir in the roadside. We slaughter in the abattoir. You can see now, Wurkum abattoir, they can slaughter no less than 20 cows. If they sell, the ones that remain, they take it to their various destination. You understand me?
Yes.
In this your junction here, in this junction, road safety junction, after you cross this church, there is somebody who is selling meat there. He's not slaughtering the cow there. They are slaughtered in the abattoir.
And expected
By the veterinarians.
That's different from the pigs.
Yes, it's different from the pigs, as you were saying.
Okay.
Cow sellers are different from the pigs. I am not chairman in the pigs aspect. I am not part of that. I am only chairman in the National Butchers, cows and goats, not pigs. I don't deal with pigs. I deal with only goats, cows. This is where my chairmanship started and ends.
Okay, so there's another chairmanship of the pig.
Yes.
Oh, good. These are good perspectives you are
Yes.
opening to us because we need
I don't
to
deal with pigs. I don't deal with what do you call it, dogs. It's against my religion, so I don't deal with that.
Well, here in Benue, even dogs seem not to be something open like that.
But people sell it in government college site. They do sell.
No, we are not advertising
It's okay to speak. Let me jump that.
Yes.
But actually, my chairmanship is for cows and goats.
sheep and goats.
I am not in terms of anything pigs. I doesn't have hands in that. Sir.
Okay, Dr. Amine, educate the public on the dangers of patronizing these meats that are unapproved, some sold by the roadside, their source not known. Can they speak to us about this from your point of view as a veterinary doctor and chairman in the state?
You know, there is a question that I think was answered, but partially. Somebody asked if there is inspection of those roadside meat and all that. I think the man from Zakibian.
Yes.
Yeah, he talked about that. Well, when I was an undergraduate, they used to take us to pig abattoir and they did inspection. I'm not sure what is done now. But like I said, those people slaughtering in very remote areas may not have people. Government may not even know them.
Yeah.
So how do you go to where you don't know? But you say I should educate the public about the dangers of roadside slaughtering. And I want to believe that the entire program that has lasted close to 2 hours is an enlightenment to that effect. But to buttress it further is the same thing that we have been saying. If you're slaughtering meat by the road, very close to the road, vehicles are passing, dust is being raised, settling on this meat, and then people buy it and consume. when you transport meat open with blood dripping on the road, if it is diseased and you have spread it, that's why when COVID-19 came, they were talking about contact tracing. You know, where did this person get it? Where did it go to? So if you have, let's say, anthrax, and the animal was slaughtered in Urukum Abattoir and transported all the way to, let's say, Nyon or somewhere, it means that you have moved that disease along that path or through. So we want to advise the public to ensure that whatever meat you want to consume, it has been inspected and found to be wholesome for human consumption before you go ahead and consume. I remember one of my lecturers back then who used to teach us food hygiene would give us a practical example of Mama Put and restaurant. And he would say, Mama Put is where you buy the food 100 naira. You use one hand to be chasing flies, and then you use 200 to buy drug after. So if you check the cost, it's almost like eating in a decent restaurant. You know, because the cost of the energy that you're burning to pursue flies and the small money you use to buy drug to take care of some upset that you may find. You know, but people would not stop, may not stop completely, but it could reduce because of economy. Some people truly may not have access. Some people have 300. Yeah. And if they are going to transport from North Bank to Abattoir in Urukum as slaughter slab, transport would have taken that
200
and all that. So
300.
These things are practical issues that are staring us in the face, and we keep crying. What we can do is put hands together. You have 2-3 people say, we're going to the market. Let's send one person to transport and get meat from the correct source, rather than all of us trying to go, because somehow it's a daily routine. That's why meat is slaughtered every day. So we want to appeal to members of the public. We understand the hardship that everyone is going through the nation because of high cost of living, low income and all that. But we have to live healthy life. The lady from Yaikyo said she's considering being a vegetarian. When you go and you say, vegetables are healthy, yes, but you also need protein, animal protein, plant protein. You have to have that.
Okay, our time is totally up. We must have to try to conclude now. Dr. Amali, 30 seconds of your parting words of the commitment of your directorate in the ministry with regards to addressing the issues of putting the abattoirs in shape to serve many people.
What we all agree is that the abattoirs are out of place now. That is what we all agree. At the ministerial level, we have a duty to make the higher government understand that this is what we should be doing, or that is not on now. So at the ministerial level, we're going to continue to push this matter until we get a response. And we are sure to do this. Hopefully we'll be doing that. His Excellency, we're appealing to him to pay some attention to us, even if it is by this means that we'll reach him. Let him help us. Let him make the whole issue come round again. Let's have a big abattoir in Makurdi. Let's be able to solve this problem and lift and come against a situation where we're going to be experiencing outbreaks of diseases. We're appealing to the public also to make sure that they do their own part, play their own role. Sometimes if they don't try to break the law to go and sell on the highway, there will be no talks like this. If they use other means to roast their animals, they should find other ways to do so. If they don't, then we'll keep talking about this. But it has more to do with them than with us. Our own is to appeal to them, talk to them, which we are doing.
All right, Sarki-Naira.
Yes.
Butchers Union, you have listened to all the issues from callers and from our discussants in-house. Are you willing to get your members to do the right thing in the abattoirs, at least to manage the facilities in a way that public health is not endangered?
By the special grace of God, we are trying and we keep on trying. I listen to every caller. Every caller will say abattoir, abattoir, abattoir. Of course, yes. They have to say it because we deal with the abattoir.
Absolutely.
So by the special grace of God, from today, we listen to them and we heard them. Yeah? we are going to change, inshallah, by the special grace of God. And my appeal with you, the radios, help us advertising this issue to the government so that the government will listen to us. Let them come and assist us.
Okay. One of which we have done.
Inshallah.
Others, your union, we are open to sponsorship,
like with,
partnership.
I believe, inshallah.
In fact, if you want us to be dedicating every edition of this program 2 hours every 3 days in a week to discuss it, we are open to sponsorship
There's
and
no
partnership.
problem,
If your union bring the money,
we'll come to
we will
that,
do
inshallah.
Dr. Amine,
Thank you very much.
Your parting words in 30 seconds, please.
I want to thank Agate Radio for the good job they are doing. On behalf of the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, we want to say that we are open to partnership and collaboration with government and relevant organizations that are in the business of animal rearing, health of animals, public health, the environment. We'll be willing to do that. And at every point when we have events, we like to invite them to be part of it, like World Vet Day is coming up on the 27th of April. We'd want you to be around so that we can engage at that level. And we want to say that for those who are in the business of selling animals, butchering, selling, it's a good business. Without you, our profession will make no meaning. Yeah. But we want you to be alive. We want the animals to be healthy so that the society will be healthy. Thank you very much.
This is where we must have to conclude on today's edition of Perspectives, which we've beamed a spotlight on the state of abattoirs in Makurdi. Deeply appreciate our discussants, the Director, Veterinary and Livestock Services, Benue State Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Edward Amali has been our guest. Thank you, sir, for coming on Perspective.
Thank you so much for
the Chairman, Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, Benue State Chapter, Dr. Andrew Amine. We are grateful to you for your insights.
Thank you very much.
Also, the Chairman, National Butchers Union, Benue State, Umar Sarki-Naira. Thank you for coming on Perspective.
You are welcome.
That's our program today. My name is Nathaniel Nongu. Join us next week, Monday, for another edition. God bless you. Have yourself a great weekend. Goodbye.